And let's look at the search part of the UI. Okay, so here we're actually gonna look at how to add this search bar, adding the icon in here, and also adding this text in here, or which is normally called the placeholder. Okay, so let's actually make sure we get rid of this by creating a file and then importing it here. So inside the component, what we're going to do is to actually add a file, and let's give the name of this to be search underscore let's say set box. Yeah, set box is good. That. Okay, so we have the set box here. We need to import our package here, and for the package let's add the material.dat. So material. Okay, good. Now let's look at the next one. Next one, what should we import? Since we actually going to add an svg file, we need to add that. So import. Oh, this import. Okay, then let's add a package, and this package will have a flutter underscore svg. Then we add slash flutter svg again. Perfect. Next, we will use a constant. So constant, we already have a predefined colors in there, so let's add that. First package. Yes, and package. mm, oh no, yes, package, but let's add uh food. Let's go up, and this will be constant. Okay, so here. Perfect. No, not component. I want us to use a constant instead of component. So okay. Wait. Constants dot that. Yes, this one. Okay, good. Then let's add a stateless widget here. So stl shortcut. Then we go stateless. Okay. Then the name will be search box. Yes, perfect. 1x search box. Okay. Then we need to add a simple value here. This will be actually be the value change on change string. So let me first add this here. First we add final value. This is for the search box. Okay, so value, and this value we use the value change. Okay, so based on what happened inside, there needs to be some change, so we call this but this is normally a string, so that is the data type string. Okay, and string for string, and this will be an unchange. Okay, so let's add our const here, and const we have a search box, and for this search box we also gonna have our unique key. So we'll only have the key, and then key here. Good. And I added this to it, so no, we don't need this. we only need this key. Then key, we go super key. Yeah, super key, and then we go key. Okay, so okay, let me double check. We have final value changed. Then we have a string on change. Oh, okay. On change, we need to terminate this. Okay. Then on change, we have this is just a value, and this is a search box, unique key. So search box unique key. Then this is a key, and then we have our super key. Okay. So let me see. Next, what are we gonna do? Let's key, super key. Made a mistake here. I need to add this and search. Let me see. This search we have. We need to call this on change here. Otherwise, we'll have an error. So this dot on change. Okay. Let me add this here because we will use it later on in the code. Dot. Perfect. All right. So we clear off the error. Now let's check. Okay. So like I said, we are working on the search part of the project. So we need to make sure our margins are correct, set well. So margin, we need to add an edge insert of dot or. Let's use the dot or around it, and we give it 20. Value should be 20, and then let's add some pattern to this, and the pattern, let's use an edge insert using the symmetric. Yes, symmetric, and we're gonna have a horizontal of 25, and then let's add 25 is okay. Then we add a vertical of 5. Yeah, because 25 we want to actually stretch it, and then the vertical will only be the 5. Yeah, okay. So next we add our decoration here, that is the box decoration, but first we start with the decoration keyword. Then we go box box decoration, and we need to add some borders to this. So let me see the border of the search, or let's use border radius. Yes, because we want the edges of the decoration, or the input field should have a radius at the side so that the search will actually look nice. So we are going to use border radius of about, let's say, let's use border radius dot circle. Yes, and it should be 50. Yeah, I think 50 is okay. Then we need to add a border, and this border should be the border for all. So I go border and border dot all. Let's use this one. So border dot all, we are going to actually add some colors, no, some color to show for the border, and we use our constants. That is why I imported up there. So we use the k secondary color, And for this, we're gonna actually add some lightness to it. So we use the width opaque. Alpha, no, let's use this. And this will be 0, maybe 0.32 is okay. Yes, good. That is the border for our search. So we set the border radius, circular, opacity, okay, for our border. And then let's now add the text inside. Okay, so beneath this, I'm gonna add a child, and this child will actually have the text field for us. We have already decorated, so we use the text field. Test, oh no, text field. Okay, and for the text field, we actually gonna have the on change. We actually added at the top. So the on change here, when there is a change, something should happen. Okay, perfect. And let's add some decoration to this. So decoration, and we're gonna have an input. We use the input decoration. Okay, so let me use this input decoration. And for the input decoration, we're gonna have a border. This is wrong. No, this should be a small letter. Border. Okay, and for this border, we should have an input border set to none. So I go input border dot none. Yes, like this. So we set the border to none. Then we add some icon. We add the search icon at yes. So we're gonna use SVG icon here. So that is why I imported the SVG at the top. So we go SVG picture dot assets, this one. Then the asset path, assets folder, and icon folder, and then the SVG name, search dot SVG. Perfect. Okay. So I always forget this. We add double quotes or single quote is okay. Then what else? Let's add a hint. In HTML, we'll call it a placeholder, but in that we call it a hint. So this hint will be hint tests, okay? And double or single is okay. Then we call it the food search, okay? Food search. And then what should I add again? We need to add a color for this hint. So the hint also have a style, and that will be called a hint style. And this hint style will also take a test style. Yeah, and this test style, okay. And this test style will simply call one of our colors in a constant. So color, and this color, let's use the K secondary color. Yes. Okay, secondary color is here. Okay, perfect. Any error? Okay, there should be a comma here. Perfect. Okay, so we are almost done with our search. We're almost done. Let me see. So let me show the UI. Let's compare this. Search. So for the search, we actually have the on change at the top. Okay, so we have the hint and the hint color, which was set to the K color. We have this icon, and this icon is the SVG here, and then we have the border the border, and the border is actually here, input set to none, and we have the input field. This is the border decoration, this is the whole field, and then the decoration inside, and this one take care of what, of the circle at the side, and then the opacity. Good. And we have a 25 horizontal and 5 vertical. Perfect. So now let's look at what we have to create next. So now we need to import this here, and we are done with that. Do we need this foundation? No. Okay. So next is unchanged. Unchanged. Is everything okay? Parameter change to. Oh, okay. Good. So let's look at the next one. The next one, we should tackle one of this. One of this we're gonna tackle, okay? So which one should we tackle first? Let's look at the category list. I think it's easy. Yes, so let's tackle that one first. So I show you the image again. This is actually the category list. This one here, the packed meal, chicken, beverages, and snacks and slides. Okay, so let's develop that now. I'm gonna create a file in here inside our component under the screen home. So new file, and then I call it the category list. Okay, category list. Let's use underscore list. Okay, then I add that. Perfect. So we have the category list, and this we're gonna create the list I showed you right now. So first, our essentials, import, and we have package, and then we have a flatter. Make sure the spellings are correct. Then we have why is that? Good. Next, we have to know, let's only use this import for now, and then we create a state. Should we stateless? Yeah, let's use stateless widget for this, and we call it the category list. Good. Perfect. So for this category list, we also gonna have this same constant key that is very important for our pages, because it's actually gonna give us a unique identity for each of this page. Yeah, so basically the same, just like this, but here it's only gonna, the only difference is the constant name, this one. Perfect. Then we give it a unique key. So let's step into this. Here we return, instead to return a container, let's return a single child scroll view. Single, I told you why we're using this, so that our page can actually scroll when there are too much widget in there. So first, let's use the scroll direction and how the scroll should go, and the scroll direction we should use horizontal. Okay, so we need to call the axis axis.horizontal. Perfect. Now we're gonna have a child, and this child yeah, and this child will actually have a row, and row of widget, exactly what we want to do. Row of widget, and this, let me say, we're gonna first have a cross-axis alignment to make sure everything is aligned properly. alignment, we use the dot stat. Yeah. Okay. Next, inside our row, we're gonna have a lot of widgets. So let's use the child property in the row, and this widget we're gonna have first our category items here. Let me show you. So this one, two, three, four. That is why we have created a row, and each of the widget inside here will actually be for one of this. So just simply test. Okay, so first one will be our category item, and this category items not yet created, but let's add this, and then I will create it soon. So we use category item. We're gonna create something to actually control this soon. Okay, later. So let's have this category item, and this category item we're gonna have a title for this title, and this title, no, this should be a small t, this title, and we will say the first one was what, packed meal. Okay, perfect. Packed meal, and then this will be active. This will be the first one to show to the user, like the selected one. So we want to assign some is active to it, which you will soon understand why I'm doing this. So it's true. I'll show you why I did this, and then press. When an action is pressed, let me see this. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we have an error here. Why? Because this needs to actually refer to a particular file to make use of this category items, which has not yet been created, but need to have it at the back of our mind that we're gonna create this. So I'm using that here before it's been created. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate this. We have about we're gonna have about four tabs, and this will be the category list for our app. Okay, so the first one was packed meal, the second one is chicken, and the third one should be beverages. The last one should be snacks. Yeah, snacks is okay. Okay, so let me see. Good. So now let's actually tackle this one. Why it's giving us an error? Because we have not created this category stuff, but we are using it. Yeah. So we have created the first one. Let's go ahead to actually finish this before we go to the category item. Okay, so now I would say we have the chicken, the snacks, the beverage, the packed meal, and this is actually active and is set to true. The rest will not be active, so we'll not set this one to true, only one at a time. Okay, good. So I have commented that one. So let me see. row. Okay, so all is set for this file. I save this. Next, we're going to create the category item. So you see this will actually be referred in another file for this to actually work well with no errors. So I'm gonna create this one, and it's actually the same name, but instead to use the list here, we'll use item so that it will refer to this page. Yeah, this is really good to actually minimize your files, and it's also good to help you when you want to debug your code. You keep the files separately for easy debugging. Okay, so for the item, what we'll do here is first import. Let me copy this, copy and paste. Oh no, I want to have, yes, I do copy and paste here, and will not need svg here. Okay, but we will need a constant. And so here I'm gonna create another stateless, and for this file we're gonna call it category. Let me see. Yeah, category item is good. Then here we're actually gonna have something like a model up here, which is gonna control the title, the activeness, and then the press that we have already used in our code in the previous file. So here is simply like a model, and this will actually help us to display the assigned tests we added in the previous file. So we have the final, this is also final, and this is bool because it's active. Okay, so we set it to bool, and the next one we go final function. Okay, correct. And this will be press. This function will be called press. Okay, press. And let me, oh no, this we need to, okay, perfect. Next, what I need to do is to actually have a constructor for this. Constructor, and then keys for this. It's exactly like this, but we're gonna add more dot this constructor. Then we have this here instead of this one. Then we're gonna have the key is good. Oh, I left out the super. Okay, good. So we are tagging our pages uniquely, and then we're gonna add this as a constructor, this dot. The first one we can add this dot active, and we're gonna add this dot title, this dot title, and then this dot press. Perfect. So we have our constructor, but since we want to actually apply only true to the one assigned, the one we want it to be true, so defaultly we need to assign this to false. Perfect. Okay, so let's move on. Next, we're gonna add a gesture detector. This gesture detector will actually help you to easily have a click event. So instead to return a container, we use the gesture detector. Okay, perfect. And inside the gesture detector, we have the on tap, and this on tap is just for a click event. So if we have a function called press, then it's gonna help us do that press instantly on each of the tabs. Okay, so child, we're having a child of padding, and this is gonna help us actually decorate that section of the page well. So the padding here, we are going to have let me see, we have a child padding, and then let's have this padding will have on the padding of const, and this const will have edge insert of, let's use a symmetric edge insert. Where is that? Okay, and then we add a horizontal of 20, and then now we have a vertical of 15. Better. Okay, then what we'll do is let's check here. We want to add a child column. Column here. Okay, and column here, and this column will actually have let me see, this column will have children. Yes, and what are we gonna add as children here? Here will be the test we already appended in the previous code. So it's gonna be a test widget, and this test widget will have some conditional statements attached to it. So we have a test, and for this test, first we're gonna have a title here. So this title is already using the other file. So now we are adding some styling to it, and then we are adding is active and all that. Okay, so style, and this style we simply want to add the is active that we have already added at the top. So if that text or title is active, then let's use this styling. Very simple, very simple. And let's use very simple condition statement. So then let's use this style. So if it's active, then let's use this. So what are we using? We are using color, and this color we're using one of the constant colors, that is this. And what else? We're gonna have the font weight, and font weight we set it to bold. So font weight, then it goes to bold. Okay, good. Then next is this. Okay, what if it's not active? Then we add this default one. Test style. Yeah, another default test style font size. So I add this, and I added the font size. Okay, font size. Then I added this one. Perfect. Next is checking to see if it's active. It should actually show this container. So I use this if, and if is active, let me use is active here. Active, okay, and let me see if it's active. Then let's return a container here. container here. Okay. This container should be outside the round bracket like this. Okay, so should be a container and like this. Okay. Test. Well, from this, this needs to be here, and this needs to be off. Okay, so we have the test here, test here, and then we have the star here. The star is here. So what else? Then we have the star. I'm trying to check that everything is in line. Okay, this one goes off. Okay, then we have this. Okay, perfect. So we have the if is active, tester. Oh, oh yeah, I got it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so container, inside our container, let's actually get the margin here, and let me see, edge insect. This edge we use the symmetric and vertical. Yeah, let's use vertical, and the value should be 5. Okay, next is the height. Okay, so height, let's add height of 3 to this, and then we also have the width, and the width we should set this to 22. It's okay. Then we have some decoration. Okay, so the decoration will have a box decoration of let's say box decoration, and this box decoration we're gonna have the color from our, this color will be from our constant. So let's use the primary, rather k primary. Okay, so k primary, we use the k primary color, color, k primary color. Yes, good. Then let's add the border. This we use border radius, and it goes border radius. Okay, no, not the border direction, we use the border radius, and this border radius we're gonna use the dot circle. Yeah, we want to use the border radius circle. So, and then we'll have a value, and this value will be 10. Okay, yeah, so basically done with this. Let's look at this. On tab, row. No, you have this here. This should go off. Okay, perfect. So this is search. Now we go to our category lists, and then we want to import the item here, so we go for the item in here. Perfect. So we clear off the error here, so we save this. Okay, so all we did here is actually to have a simple model, and this model will actually control our list. Yes, and this is actually just one help us to design what we call in here, and also control the activeness of which menu is actually selected. So we set this to true, but in here the default is set to false. So all these are set to false and this is set to true. Okay, perfect. We still have some errors here. Okay, so this we need to import the category here, and we need to import the item also here. Oh no, item list. Okay, we have the category list here. Okay, so we need to now figure out and finish the files for these ones. Okay, so this will look at the card for our UI, and then we'll also check the discount of our UI. So this one. So now we have actually finished this, and then we have set this active. So the styling has applied to this if it is active. If it is not active, this applies to it. So now we're actually going to look at the item list. So this is uh, this one here, item list. We are going to create this file and a class of this name. And next one we'll look at the discount here. Okay, so the discount here, and then the discount what this is actually a card or a picture showing here, so we're gonna create that in this class. Good, let's finish that. So first, item card, let me create a file here, component. Okay, new, and I call it item underscore card dot that. Oh, okay, good. So here what we do is to do some import. Okay, so item import. Now would we need this? Not sure about this. Okay, then we will need another import. Let me see. We'll need it. Maybe all this. Yeah, all this, because we'll add the SVGs. So yes, perfect. So we have our material, we have SVG, and then we have our constant. Yes, perfect, because this is actually the item card, and the item card needs to have some images of the food which is gonna display. So we need a SVG import here. So let's start with a stateless widget. STL shortcut, and then we create. Now the name of the class is item. Don't forget we already need to add this in a code for the item to actually display with the food on a card. So we create this item card class. Okay, good. So first we will be making use of another kind of a model which it will help us display the title, the shop name, the SVG, and which one is press. Yeah, but let me leave that for now. We'll do that here. Let me leave that for now, and then let's step into the design first. Okay, so here, because we are using a card, we want to actually provide the total height and the width of the screen so that the card will actually fit in well. So let's have this size as a variable. Size. Okay, then yeah, this is variable size. Okay, then this size would be equal to a media query. So media query dot off. Let's use the dot off. Oh, media query dot off. Okay, this one. Then we're gonna have the context dot the size. Perfect. Then I terminate this. Okay. We have not used the variable. That's why it's gray. Okay. So inside the container, we're actually gonna have our margin, and our margin we're gonna use the edge insert, and this edge insert we use the only because we want to tackle the top and the left. So first I begin with the left, and we give it a 20 of the card, and then the right side is maybe 15 is okay. Then we added the top, and the top let's look at somewhere around 20. Okay, and the bottom of the one we look at 20 as well. Perfect. That is the margin for a card. Then we have next we need to decorate the box, so we use the decoration, then we use box decoration, but box decoration. Okay, yeah, let's use this. The box decoration, let's first look at the color, and this color we're gonna have a color of, so colors dot right will be okay. And next we're gonna have the border radius. Let me add a border radius. Yes, we use the border radius because we want to have a very curvy card. Okay, then border radius, then we're gonna have the border radius. Which one? Let's use border radius dot circle. Yeah, border radius dot circular. Then this is 10. Okay, so next we're gonna have our box shadow. Yeah, just to give some kind of shadow with that card. So box shadow, and this box shadow we have box shadow here. Shadow, box shadow. Okay, this box shadow, and then let me have this here, and inside this box shadow we're gonna have, oh, I always type this. Good. So now let's have an offset for this, and offset, let's have offset maybe 0, dx should be 0, and then dy should be probably 4. It's okay. Then we have the blurness, blur radius 20 value. Then we have color, color. The color we actually gonna use gray, and let's make use of hex code. Okay, so hex code we need to start with the ARG. So OX OXFF, and then gray is BOCC, BOCC, then E1 is gray. Good. You can always use your Photoshop to find out this. And we need to add some opacity to this. So let me do opaque. Then we want to add 0.32 is okay. No, 0.32. Yes, that's okay. Next is we got to finish this by adding a child to this, and this child will actually be the material with some transparent and all that. So let's end it here and then add another widget. So this is a child widget, and this child widget will be a material, and this material um, first we're gonna have the color, and this will be colors, colors dot, yeah, transparent. So we want to keep it a bit transparent. Yeah, so let me show you again. So we are actually creating this side of the card, and we are designing each of the card. Okay, so we added this on the white background. We'll be adding this one, and then the food on top and everything. Okay, good. So let's move. So transparent, then we want to add another child, and this will be an inkwell. So inkwell. So for this inkwell, it's gonna help us actually add some unpressed event, which we can use the on top later in the future, which it might not be important here, but we add a press we already have in our code. So press. Good. So this okay, we don't have it here, but later I'll tackle this. We have the press, and then after the press we need to have the padding for this. Let me see. The padding will be an edge insect of all. Okay, so let me have a child for this child. Child, and for the child we're gonna have the pattern widget. So insert pattern, and for the pattern widget we're gonna have another pattern in there like this, and for this pattern we're gonna set it to, let me see, an edge inside of all, but we need to use the constant and edge insect. Okay, edge insect the all, then all will be 20. We can use decimal, so 20.0 is okay. And after that, let's add a child column. Okay, so I go. Okay, for this chart column, we'll be having the decoration box and the color we want to add to that. Then we now add our SVG. Okay, so for this column, we're gonna have children in here. So first, I call column children first, And inside our children, we'll first have our first container. Okay. And this container will have some margin, and that margin edge insect. That only is okay because only the bottom will be affected with this, so 15 is okay. Then we have another pattern, and this, oh no, pattern, and this pattern is gonna be an edge insect of, let's say, edge insect of all is okay. Then the value should be 25. Okay, after the pattern, now we have decoration. Let's add a decoration, and for this decoration we're gonna add a box decoration. Let me see, we use the box decoration, okay, for this one. And the box decoration, we're gonna have a color, and the color, we're gonna use one of the constant colors, okay. So let's say the K primary. Yes, the K primary is okay. K primary color, and we add some opacity to it, so that opacity, and let's set value to 0.32 so that it will be uniform with the other one we set above. Then we have the shape, so this is very important, the shape of where it's gonna lie at the back of what, of the SVG images of the food. That is very important. So this is the box shape. Then it's gonna be circle as we saw in the picture. So box shape circle, but this, okay, good. Then next we need to add an SVG on top of this shape. Okay, so let me show the design again. So we created this card and we set the background to white, which is up there here, colors.white, circle is 10 at the edge, border radius, okay. Then we check the offset of the blur radius and all that for this side. Now we are actually working on the shape for this side, okay. And then we set the color to this K primary color, and then the opacity, we made it a bit lighter, okay. Then the shape is what, circular. After that we're gonna add the SVG image of the food on top of this, okay. So after this we'll have a child, and this child will actually be the SVG asset we are applying on top of the circular shape. So I call the SVG pictures.asset. Then this assets slash icon. Okay, we will not use this. We will rather use, let me set this to SVG only here. Why? Because we're gonna use a model to actually call this, so it will be created later. So let me use this svg.src, and we're gonna have the width of probably, let's have the size of size, okay, size, and the size will be dot width, okay. Dot width, Good. Now this should be checking the media query or just the screen. So we use the 0.18 so that the size will not go off board for this one. So we have this set. Then next we're gonna actually add, let me see, the container is here. Then this SVG, we need to create, no, I'll do that later. We have two in there, we need to tackle that error. So later we'll do that, but now let me add the title here. Title here. No, after the container rather. I'm gonna add, because I want it to be in the column. This is another widget, so I add, no, test rather, test, and this test will have title inside. Okay, so we have the title, and then we have the size box. Size box, no, the height. This height is 10. Okay, 10. Test. Tests. This test, we're gonna have the name of the shop, but we're gonna set this later, so never mind. These ones will be set later and it's gonna work perfectly fine. So shop, I'll show you why I'm doing this version. So we have the title of what, of our card. We're gonna have the SVG. This will be like a variable that we'll call the path, and this will be the title, and this will be the shop name, because in the food app you might have a lot of shops that is posting your food items, so you need to be classified by the shop. That is why we have this here. Okay, so next is the star. Will add it to this, so star will be tests, and this will be test star. The test star will only have the font size. Yes, font size is okay, and the font size, we are setting this to 12. Okay, so we have a comma here. Then we have, yeah, so this is okay. Okay, we still have some errors in there, so I said we're gonna create something that will help us with this. But before, let me have a thorough look through this card. Okay, press. Item card. Okay, item card. Good. But since we are having the error, why are we having this error? Because these are not actually inside our projects now. So what I have to do is to add these ones to the project so that the errors will go off. Okay, so I'm gonna add just a simple line of code at the top. So just like this one, no. Yeah, this one. So we had a mimic of what? Of a constructor, and this constructor is inside a model. Okay, and this model have a constructor, and that constructor can easily be used if we are actually using or pulling data from a different source. So what did I do? This should be off. I did something wrong. Okay, let me see. The same. No, I'm supposed to copy this instead of what I copied was wrong. Yeah, I just copy and paste. I'm lazy. Okay, so here we actually gonna have a simple what? A simple model with a constructor. Yeah, so if we are picking our data source from a place, it will be much easier for us. Okay, so this is a super key. Yes, key. Yeah, unique identifier for the page. And for this, first we're gonna have a final, and this final will be a string. Sorry, a string, and this string will have a title of string. We have a shop name, and then we'll have svg down there, svg src. Okay, then I terminated this. Next we had the final function, and that was a press. Okay, then here it's a constructor of what we have up there. So we're just gonna call it this keyword dot press, this keyword dot, the dot should call all the names for us, and this keyword dot svg, this keyword dot. So this is just a constructor. So if we are picking out our the data from a data source like a database or API or all that, so this is actually gonna be more optimized, and we can access a lot of data using this mimicking model. Okay, so good. So this page is set, and we have our model on point now. Let me see. I need to terminate this. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So in the body, we have this list. Let me see. Let me check this very well. We have the card. We have the card. We have a next. What should we do? Okay, card. We have card. Now let's move to the item list. Yeah, here, item list. So the item list will actually, let me see, item card, and then now we go to the item list. Okay, so what is the item list? So we created some model here, and there's no data actually showing. We have the design here, we have this, and then we have SVGS SRC to receive this SVG link and this test. So this is what we are about to create now. So it will be for this one. Okay. So for the item list, it's very easy. So we create a new file here and call it the item underscore list. Okay. Dot that. Okay. Good. Then here we need to import. First have our what? First we need to have our material here, and also we need to also add our card here, because the card has some values which we will need here, and these values here that we're gonna add will also help the card display some data that is useful to the user. So first I need to add the item card here. So let me add that here, item underscore card, but we have not used that yet. Okay, so I leave it there. Now I'm gonna add our stateless widget. So stl shortcut, good, and we call this item lists. Perfect. Okay, and we have a special this one, our special key. Yeah, kind of important here. No constructor for this. Okay, and this should actually be like this, and we change this to lists. Very important, just to keep the pages uniquely. Okay, next what we're gonna do is to return a single scroll view instead to return this container, because I told you we want the page to be scrollable if there are more widgets on the screen. Okay, so let's go. Single scroll view, this one. So inside a single scroll view, we need to show the direction of this single scroll view, and we want it to actually scroll vertically. So we use the scroll direction, and then we have the axis, and this axis we use the axis dot horizontal. Perfect. Now we want to add a child row, and this will help us add a lot of widget. So because the card actually rolls inside a row. Okay, so this inside here we have the child, and the child is gonna bear, the first one will be the item card, and this item card will actually have uh, our properties that we have already set in the previous code. So the first one, it's waiting for our SVG path. Perfect. So we're gonna add this path here. So now you know why I was creating this path in the other file. So the path will be here, and then this is a folder icons. Okay, good. And we have icons. Let me see. Icons. Okay, the first one we're using the Jollof, right? So the Jollof SVG. So let me Jollof dot SVG. Okay, this one. Perfect. Then we need to give it a title. We have already set this. So title will be Jollof. Oh, where's the J? And this will be, don't forget, this needs to be single or in a double quote. That is all correct. Then we have the shop. That is the shop name I was talking about, because you can have several shops. So this shop, we can call it any name, but I just keep it the food in. And then the price, not really necessary, but if you want this to open a bigger page, then we use the press. Yes, so we will say for now this press will have an empty function. Okay, good. Then what else? Next, we're gonna repeat the same card inside our child, because in the row child we can have several widgets. 2. So let's say we have a 2 for now. No, 3 for now, right? This one, let's call this potato. Oh, dot svg, and this we call it the potato chips, yeah, or french fries. Yeah, the same shop. Or we can change it to be another new shop. Yes, so and here can be another thing, whatever, but let's leave this like this. So we can duplicate this as much as we want, and the data source can be from anywhere else we want, from this one. Yes, so if you are calling from an API or a database, maybe from your model, it can be something dot something, then it can call all this data randomly. Okay, so let's say we are almost done with this. Since we have about 3 in here, we can duplicate this to have more of this. But the last one is to add a discount card. So I save this, and then we move down into this, and then I import this one here. Need to import this file here, and we are set. So it is left with the last one. So what are we going to do with this discount? Here, if you can see, now we're gonna tackle this one. That is the discount first. So we are done with virtually everything here, and then we're gonna add this discount side. Okay, so for the discount, it's very simple. We need to only have an image which have some inscriptions on it to show all the discounted food beneath the page. Okay, so let's begin with this. So first, I want us to create this discount page inside our component here. So let me see, component here. Okay, so I create a file, and then I name it discount. Discount and oh, underscore, and this is discount card. Okay, that's that. Perfect. Okay, so this discount page will also have some imports. Yeah, let's see. The import, we have the material. We don't need this. Do we need this? We don't need this as well, but we will need constant, because we're gonna use the color and others. Okay, I'm being lazy, so let me see this. Okay, good. We'll need all that. So now let's check with our shortcut, and then we call this page what? Discount card. Perfect. So for discount card, we're also gonna have a unique identity for this page, which is should be okay for a large code to differentiate your pages by unique keys. Highly recommended by Flutter team. Okay, good. So now what we're gonna do is to check here. First, we're gonna return a pattern, and this pattern is gonna hold our discount section. Okay, so instead to return a container, why not use the pattern widget? And this pattern widget also can add another pattern inside, and this pattern will have constant of what? Oh, no, constant of edge insert. Oh, why? Edge insect, and this edge insect we actually want to use the symmetric and then horizontal. Okay, horizontal, and we assign a value of 20. And next, let's have a child, and this child will actually be a column so that we can add in more widgets to this. Okay, so for our child or column, we're gonna actually have the cross to check the alignment for us. So we use the cross axis alignment dot start. Let me add dot start here, and next we're gonna have the children for this column, and the first one will be our test widget. Okay, let me quickly show you this test here, and then we're gonna add these images. Let's go. So test the widget first. It's gonna be let me see, we'll have this test in here. This will be a discount food or discounted food, that is right. And then let me add a styling to this. So we have the tester. No, I use the style here instead. Style. Okay, and the style we have test style. And for the test style we're gonna have the font weight. Okay, font weight, font weight, and font weight dot bold. Yeah, let's use the bold, and then bold, and then we have the color. Color, we want to use the constant color, so we use color, and we use the k-test color that was predefined, okay, in our constant. Yes. Okay, then what we do next is add another widget. So this widget should be beneath this, and this should be a container, and this container is returning, imagine, no, I go this container need to have a margin, and this margin will have an edge insect, but this we're gonna use the symmetric and then vertical, then a 20 for value. And we have the width. Okay, so the width, we setting, let's use double dot infinity, double dot dot infinity. Okay, so after this, let's tackle with the height for the container. Okay, height, and height is let's use 166 for this, and let's decoration. The decoration, we use the box decoration. Okay, box decoration for a container. Okay, then for this we're gonna have the border radius and border radius dot circular. Yeah, since we want to actually have a circular edge for the background banner, so we use this. Okay, okay, then we're gonna have what next. Next, we're gonna have the image that will show on top of this. So first, to do that, we need to use the image, make use of the image, and let me see, image. We have asset, this asset image, yeah, here, asset image, and in here we're gonna have the, let me unclear this first, assets slash images slash, we're gonna use one of these images. Let me see which image. Okay, so in the image, okay, gh food, let's use the gh food. So gh food dot jpeg, okay, jpg. Okay, so this is set. So we have image, asset image, asset slash images slash jpeg. Okay, asset image. Let me see. Okay. First, we need to make sure this our image should actually be inside an image with an decoration image, so that it will work well. So I need to use image, then decoration, decoration image, okay, and this needs to have this one, so we cut this and then we paste it in here. Perfect. Then we terminate this. Okay, perfect. So this error is gone. Then next we want to check after we have this, what else do we tackle? We need to tackle the color, the background, the opacity of the page. We want to put some widget on top of this image so that it will look good. So first we need to create, let me see, after the box decoration, let's add this a simple decoration box, but this is gonna have a color, and the color will be very what, light, and this will be a transparent color, which will make this look very beautiful. The image will only show, but now we want to put this faded color on it, and it makes the whole thing very beautiful. And also make sure their text on it is really visible to the users. So let's do that. This can be actually implemented in most of our projects. So let me add this first, a child, and this child, we're gonna have a decoration, and this decoration will actually be the decoration box. Yes, this decoration box, no, decoration box, decoration box. Okay, let me double check this. All right, so box decoration. Then I want to add a decoration box. Let me check this error. Child. No, this is not decoration. It should be decorated. Okay, perfect. Okay. Then for this, let's add a decoration here, and this is box decoration. And inside the box decoration, we can have a border and border radius. We want it to be the same as the picture radius. So we also use border radius for this, and the same as the one we use for the picture. So border radius 10, so that it covers it perfectly. And here, since it's a color, we're gonna have the gradient, and this gradient we use the linear gradient. Okay, linear gradient, so that it gives it a very good shaded view. So the linear gradient, we have a color, and this color we want to use SVG for this. Okay, so here we'll have capital, then we're gonna have our SVG color, yeah, kind of a shaded pink like that. So let's say OX, yeah, one, yeah, let's have this this color. You can always check out this color on your Photoshop or online SVG site. Okay, dot, it will break. Then let's say 0 point, no, 7, yeah, so let me add the 0 here. Yeah, so we have the color, but this should be this box bracket. Yes, great. So we have the color set. Now we want to use the K primary color to blend it up. So K primary color dot, we have the dot with opacity. Okay, 0.7. Perfect. So blended color on top of the design. Yeah, so this will look very nice. Then what we'll do is let me save this for now. Good. So what we'll do is to have a row widget, and this row widget will have a simple text on top of this well-designed picture and a top layer. Okay, so first we need to actually add this inside the container. Yeah, so in the container, let me add this widget. After the color, okay, let's add a text widget to it. So this will be a child, and we are using the padding. Should we use padding? Yeah, I think padding will be perfect for this. Yes, so the padding is here. Let me see, decoration box. Decoration box. Let me check this error. Now we have box decoration. Okay, this should be inside. Let me see. Yes, perfect. So we should have this child inside our decoration box. So for this one, we actually gonna add just an edge insert around what we have done before we actually add the row to it, and on top of the row we're gonna have the rich text on top. Okay, good. So this pattern, we actually need to add the property pattern here, and this pattern need to have some edge insect, so we use our constant and then we add the edge insect, but it should edge insert should be all around it. Yeah, so 20.0. Yeah, because it's a double. Then now we'll have a child, and this child will also be a row. And for the row, we have our children as usual. And then for this, we're gonna have uh, first, let's add a size box. And this size box will actually push the text to the other side here. The text is at only this side, not this side. So it's actually on the right side, not on the left side. So if I add a size box here, it will push the text we're about to add to the other side. So I add a size box in here before the text. So size box. Then the size box, I add a width to it. And this width is actually what? 200. Yeah. So we can use 100 or 300. I think 200 is okay. Good. Then next we are going to add the test. What's the test? Let's use a rich test. But in a rich test we use the expandable so that I can easily wrap well. Let's use the expanded widget. So expanded, yeah, that's correct. Good. Expanded widget, and inside the expanded widget we actually gonna have rich text inside here. So let me add a rich text here, because this is gonna display on top of the image, but we need to call a child first, and then we add the rich text here. Rich text, this one. Then for the rich text, yes, it will have a text, but this text will be test span. Test span here. Yeah, test span. And for the test span, we will have the style and then the text inside. Okay, running of this. So test span first. Let's have the style for the test, and let's see test style, and we'll add the color of the text, and obviously I think white color will stand out, so use colors dot white. Colors dot white. Okay, so colors dot white will be perfect for this. Good. This should be color, not colors. Good. And we're gonna have children for this. Yeah, we can use children in the rich text, and this children will be the text we want to display. So these children need to have a square bracket, and inside we'll first have our first span here. Span here, and this is tests. Tests, and this test should be inside this. So we say get discount. Okay, get discount, and get discount of, so we can type anything in here, but we want this to move to the next line, so we use backslash and move to the next line. Okay, then we have the style for this, so test style. This test style should have a font, and this font size, okay, font size of 16. Yes, font size of 16. Then what next? Font size of 16. Then we'll have another test span like this. So I copy this and then paste. That is, oh no, copy this. Okay, and then paste, and then paste. Okay, so discount, this is what, 50% discount. This one we want to use want to add some more tests, so let's say gh meal or food or something, it's okay. Yeah, then we say on your first order. Yeah, so just any test, yeah, just to make it a bit nicer. Yeah, that's all. So we have this, let's keep this test at 10. Yeah, I think 10 is okay. Okay, so the discount site has also been created, so let me check the error here. discounted, so we need to import this. Import the discount. Okay, this error is solved. Okay, good. So let me quickly rush through this as a build. Uh, let me check this. Okay, everything is set. Okay, so I run this quickly, but let's see. This is the app bar we created here inside the app bar, and we have this also, the search. The search is also here in the search box, and then we have this side of the menu. This is also here the item. No, before that I show you the app bar here. This is the app bar, and then I show you this side is the category list, but this is actually helping you provide data to the list here. So you can see this packed meal is actually at the top here, and we can also see this cards. These are scrollable cards, and this is actually found here in the item card. This, so this, you can scroll the card, and this passing all the data you need on the card here. So as you can see, the test shop, you can see the title, and then you can see the SVG here. So this one is here, the image, the title, and then we can have the background also showing nicely there. Okay, with the opacity here, and then the shape, box shape dot circle. This one is the color here. Good. And this one is actually calling, we'll be calling these images here to look really cool. And let me see, this one is what we did for the discount. So this one is the discount. So as you can see, we have the discounted food here. So it's just a simple test here. We first started with a pattern, and the pattern we align it horizontally, and then we have our children inside a column, and this have a discounted food here. And after this discounted food, we have our edge insert symmetric, and then we have, yeah, it's now loading. So we have our image here, and then we have this colors, opacity, and get discount displaying on the whole application. Okay, so basically this was smooth and straight to the point. So as you can see, this is what we actually wanted. So this was what I was designing to actually show the opacity here. And as you can see, this picture is behind this blended color, which looks really amazing. And you see the 50% get discount and all that. And you can see the homepage is actually a what? A food showing as the homepage, and other what? Other icons also on the navigation bar. So this is actually easy, and this is actually going to help you master your Flutter UI. And there will be more videos up and coming, so we'll actually want you to subscribe to our page, and we always take our time to explain into details or the part we actually code. We try to explain most of the things so that you can actually grab it. If you have any questions or any suggestions or any stuff, you can actually leave it below the comment box in there, and we're gonna actually reply you if you have any concerns if you have anything you really want to ask, you can actually type it below there and we're gonna get back to you. So we're gonna have a lot of series like this, so we want you to subscribe and then make sure you turn on the notification bell to receive other best Flutter development as this. Peace. I'm out.